Picture this, an island nation in Southeast Asia boasting over 7,000 islands, each with its own unique charm. Welcome to the Philippines, a country that is as diverse as the number of its islands. Nestled in the western Pacific Ocean, this archipelago is a tapestry of natural beauty and cultural richness. Its geographical location has bestowed it with an abundance of resources, from fertile lands that yield a variety of crops to mineral-rich soils that are a treasure trove for geologists. But the true essence of the Philippines lies in its cultural diversity. With each island having its own distinct traditions, languages, and cuisines, the country is a melting pot of cultures that have evolved and thrived over centuries. This diversity is the country's strength, giving it a unique character that is both captivating and endearing. So, how did this tropical paradise become the nation we know today? Let's dive into its intriguing past. Before the arrival of Western colonizers, the Philippines had already been home to indigenous people for thousands of years. The archipelago's earliest known inhabitants, the Negritos, arrived around 30,000 years ago via land bridges, leaving behind a legacy of rich cultural diversity. As centuries unfolded, early societies began to take shape, with the establishment of barangays, small autonomous communities usually along rivers or coastal areas. These communities were typically led by a datu, a local chieftain. Interactions with neighboring Asian cultures began to leave their mark on the evolving Filipino identity. Trade with the Chinese, Indians, and Malays introduced new technologies, ideas, and religions, profoundly shaping the way of life in the islands. The Philippines, a melting pot of cultures, was thus already a vibrant, dynamic society when Europeans first set foot on its shores. However, the course of Philippine history took a sharp turn with the arrival of a Spanish expedition in 1521. In the 16th century, the Philippines became a Spanish colony, marking the beginning of a period of Western influence that would last for centuries. This was a time of profound transformation, as the archipelago was introduced to the European way of life. The Spaniards, led by explorer Ferdinand Magellan, arrived on the Philippine shores in 1521. They brought with them the Catholic faith, which would later become the predominant religion in the country. The islands were named Las Islas Filipinas after King Philip II of Spain, and the local culture began to intertwine with Spanish customs. From food to language, the Spanish influence permeated every aspect of Filipino life. But the Spanish rule was not without conflict. Over the centuries, numerous revolts against the Spanish regime erupted across the islands, underscoring the indomitable spirit of the Filipino people. Then, as the 19th century drew to a close, the American era in Philippine history began. Following the Spanish-American War in 1898, the Philippines was ceded to the United States. The shift from Spanish to American rule brought about significant changes in the country's governance. The Americans introduced a more democratic form of government, patterned after their own system. They established public schools throughout the islands, fostering a high literacy rate that the country still boasts today. English became a second language, and American pop culture started to make its mark. Yet, the American rule also had its share of challenges. The early years were marked by tension and resistance, as Filipinos continued to fight for their independence. And while the American influence has had a profound impact on the country's development, it also stirred a longing for self-governance among the Filipino people. By the mid-20th century, the Philippines found itself at a crossroads, yearning for independence. The path to Philippine independence was fraught with challenges, but the resilient Filipino spirit persevered. The late 19th century marked the beginning of the Philippine Revolution, a valiant struggle against Spanish rule. Led by the courageous Katipunan, a secret revolutionary society, the Filipinos fought fiercely for their right to self-determination. In the wake of this uprising, on a sunny day in June 1898, the Philippines declared its independence. A moment of triumph and jubilation, it represented the dawn of a new era for the Filipino people. Yet their road to complete sovereignty was far from over. The early 20th century saw the United States assuming control over the archipelago. While this brought about significant changes, including the introduction of a democratic system and English language, it also meant that the Philippines' fight for independence was not yet over. It took another half-century before the United States officially recognized Philippine sovereignty on July 4, 1946. But the journey didn't end there. The post-independence period was marked by political unrest, with a series of turbulent administrations. The late 20th century in particular was marred by authoritarian rule, leading to widespread corruption and human rights abuses. This sparked the People Power movement, a peaceful revolution that successfully ousted the dictatorial regime and restored democracy. Fast forward to the present day, the Philippines continues to grapple with issues of wealth disparity and environmental degradation. Yet, it remains a nation of promise and potential. Its well-established education system and high literacy rates speak of a country aspiring for progress. Despite its struggles, the Philippines has always shown resilience and a unique blend of Western and Asian influences, making it the diverse nation it is today. Today, the Philippines is known for its vibrant culture, breathtaking landscapes, and warm, hospitable people. As we delve into the heart of this island nation, we see a country rich in resources, teeming with cultural diversity, and radiating an enduring spirit that is truly Filipino. The country's economy thrives on potential, despite grappling with wealth disparity. It's a land of contrasts, where bustling cities coexist with serene countryside, where modernity meets tradition. The Philippines' education system stands strong, boasting high literacy rates and world-class academic institutions that nurture the youth, the country's future leaders. Yet, the nation faces its share of challenges. Environmental degradation, largely due to rapid urbanization and climate change, threatens the archipelago's diverse ecosystems. But the Filipino spirit remains undeterred, continually striving for sustainable solutions to these pressing issues. The Philippines is not just a country, but a vibrant tapestry woven from threads of diverse cultures, rich history, and resilient people. From its early beginnings to its tumultuous journey to independence, the Philippines' history is a testament to its people's resilience and the rich tapestry of cultures that make up this diverse island nation.